we're going to go through a few slides first and talk a little about that. And then we're going to actually jump into creating a Google business page so you guys can see the back end of it. I'll go through to actually the first steps of creating it, and then I'll jump into Rock Universities because you have to actually verify through mail. They're going to send you a code. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show you a lot of things if we go through that, but I'll show you Rock University's Google business profile so you can actually see what that looks like and what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and present this. And everyone on Zoom, you can see my screen, right? I think somebody said yes.
Yes, I can see.
Perfect. Thank you, Mary. Can everybody see this up here? Cool. So of course, if you haven't been to rockuniversity.com yet, please go there. There's a ton of resources in that VIP all access, social media templates, newsletter templates, tons of things. All the recordings and videos and trainings that I do are all there that you guys can view 24/7. Also, if you haven't tried Rock Title yet, please give us a try on your next deal so we can continue providing all of this awesome training content for you guys. We have several branches across both Arizona and Nevada. We are growing nationally. So our sales team and escrow team is ready to serve you guys. Okay, Google Business Profiles. A Google Business Profile is a tool, move this out of the way, is a tool similar to a website that helps people find your real estate business whenever they search for real estate services in your area. Okay, in a way you can think of it as a modern day version of the Yellow Pages. Does anybody still get Yellow Pages? No. Okay, so today whenever a person does a Google search for a professional in their area, real estate agents in Las Vegas, if the business has a Google business profile, the search results would bring those businesses near the top of the search result page. Okay, so we can see here, Google controls over 91% of the global search engine market. 91% of the global search engine market. Just a fun fact, I've talked about this before. Do we know what percentage of internet searches are actually done in English? It's just a fun fact because I think we lose a lot of potential business if we speak additional languages. So 25% of all global searches are only done in English. 25%. Right? So 75% of all internet searches are in a different language. So if you speak another language, definitely keep that in mind in your marketing and your internet presence to make sure that you're putting out content in other languages that you may speak to maybe capture those leads as well. Not on here, but just a quick tip. So we're going to talk about a few ranking factors. Google business profiles have 3 ranking factors, okay? Relevance, distance, and prominence. So we're just going to go through these real quick. Relevance refers to how well a local business profile matches what someone is searching for, right? So if someone's searching for a real estate agent in Las Vegas, they're going to match that to hopefully with what your profile says. Just like if we do food near me or plumber in Las Vegas, anything like that, if it's relevant based on that information, then it will show up at the top. Add complete and detailed business information to help Google better understand your business and match your profile to relevant searches. Okay, the other one that is super heavily weighted is distance. So distance considers how far each potential search result is from the location term used in a search. Again, if I'm using the geolocation Las Vegas, it's going to base that in the search on who's actually in that area. So a lot of things to factor in is the main area that you service in your actual Google business profile name. Is it listed as a service area? Is it in the content that you're actually putting in the profile? I'm going to say bio, but it's more details about your information. Okay, we're going to take a look at that today. So if a user doesn't specify a location in their search or calculate distance based on what we do know about their location. Okay, their phone, GPS, all that kind of stuff. Search history. Okay, the third one is prominence. Prominence is a lot harder to kind of hone in on. It's a little bit more difficult, but prominence refers to how well known a business is. It's also based on information that Google has about a business from across the web, like links, articles, directories. Google review count, review score factor into local search ranking. More reviews and positive ratings can improve your business's local ranking. So Angel was in here earlier and we were talking about some stuff and it got brought up for reviews. And we're going to talk about reviews today. But I encourage everybody that's on the call in here to focus on getting client reviews on your Google business profile, more so than Zillow, Facebook, any other places like that. Okay. And it's no, the user has to actually leave the review. Now there's techniques. So there was a question in the class that is there a way that you could transfer those Zillow reviews to the Google business profile? And there's not. However, you can re-ask that client possibly by copying the review that they left you on Zillow and texting them that and say, hey, I'm trying to build up my Google business profile. I want to say, you don't need to rewrite everything. Here's what you wrote for me on Zillow. Here's my Google business profile link. Can you just copy and paste that on there? That way it's authentic. They are actually doing it. You know what I mean? So that could be a way that you can kind of transfer those over. Maybe you offer them a $5 Starbucks gift card or something to try to, make it easier for them. Good question. But I would definitely make Google your #1 review spot by far. Okay. So we're going to talk about 9 elements to optimize your Google business profile. Right. So we're going to ensure that your information is accurate and up to date. To add on to that, we're going to talk about how important it is to make sure that you do an online audit so that your phone number, email, if you have an address on there, bio, all your content is consistent across all your platforms, right? We should be doing an online audit at least twice a year, if not quarterly. And what that is you Google yourself and you just review all the different profiles that you're on, LinkedIn, Facebook, Zillow, Realtor.com, Google, all the different platforms you're on to make sure that your information is up to date and accurate. Because Google will pull, that's how they rank you in that relevancy and prominence, is they will pull data from all these other sites to make sure that you're legitimate. If everything matches, then they will show you higher in that ranking. Okay, does that make sense? We're going to make sure that you select a relevant category, real estate, of course. We want to make sure that's important. Fill in your complete description. They gave you 750 characters to be able to fill that in. You want to make sure you use that as much as possible with keywords. You can hear me talk about keywords a lot. Those are super important. Keywords are things like location, what you provide as in real estate, okay, listing, buying, selling in X city, whether it's Scottsdale, Las Vegas, wherever it is. You want to make sure you utilize those keywords a lot. Maybe you sell in multiple cities, okay? So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Summerlin, Henderson, Las Vegas, like wherever it is, you want to make sure you get all those keywords in there. And we're going to talk about keywords too in reviews, right? This all comes down to SEO. So a lot of times your client may not believe a review like, so-and-so did an amazing job helping me buy a home in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? However, you have an opportunity to reply to a review and add in those keywords. Hey, Bob, it was great to work with you on buying your home in Las Vegas, Nevada, things like that, right? So if they don't leave it for you, you have the opportunity to go and reply. You should always reply to your reviews, whether they're good or bad. No, none of us get bad reviews, right? Okay. But you want to make sure you always reply to those. Add photos, your website URL, accurate, right? Business hours. A lot of agents, your seed is put 24 hours. Who likes to work 24 hours a day? Right? We have to set an expectation with our clients. We are a business. We are human. We have to have a life. So make sure that you are putting in what you can commit to. 23 hours, exactly. Only if you're entitled. They even give you an option to create a Google business website. Now I'm using quotes because it's not a full-blown website. It's just a very minimized page. It's not something that is highly leveraged or ranked with Google, so you don't have to do it, but there's an option there to maybe get a few more keywords and things in there. And we talked about reviews, collecting a lot of reviews, super important, and add posts to share business updates. So one of the updates that Google did for their business profiles is you can now post updates, whether it's a graphic with some text. So you have a graphic posted, I'm gonna show you an example, and then you have a little blurb about what it is. And then they actually give you a call to action. So the one I'm gonna show you today was for today's class, and my call to action was to sign up. So you guys can make posts about your new listings, open houses, new blog posts that you guys do, and your call to action can either go directly to that blog post or directly to that listing on your website, wherever it's going. But it's very cool that they've now included those in there. So when people are searching on Google or Google Maps and your profile pops up, they can now see all these updates and they get more information. So now you're creating a rabbit hole for them to kind of keep going down on your profile and your information, and then for them to reach out. Do we know, this is a real stat through NAR, do we know how many agents a consumer reaches out to for making a decision? The average. We got 5 in here. Do we want to put some in the chat box? 3, so 5, 3, 10, 7, 2. So the answer is 1, which is crazy, right? Which is why you want to make sure that it's compelling enough for them to click on your profile, no matter what it is. Maybe it's your Facebook, LinkedIn, or anything like that. But your Google Business profile, you want to make sure it's convincing enough or interesting enough for them to be able to click on it. That's why it's important that you stand out and be different. Most people aren't posting on a Google Business profile or optimizing it, right? But think about if it looked different in that sense and there was value there, you already stand out. So they're going to reach out, okay? So citations for local SEO. We're going to talk about citations. What are citations? So they're well-established. You want to get citations from well-established sites to help increase the degree of certainty search engines like Google have about your business's contact info. So this is what I was saying about doing your online audit and making sure your contact info and business information is consistent across all platforms. So websites like Yelp, are you on Yelp? Right? Google's that's a reputable third-party site that they can verify information from. So they're gonna go in and match your information. If everything's legit and good, you now just got ranked higher, as opposed to somebody that maybe their phone number is not right on multiple platforms, or the website changed and they never went in and updated it, right? It's insane of all that data that they go in and take a look at. So let's take a look at some examples of citations. So generic citations, and this is their terms, not mine. So Yelp.com, Foursquare, YellowPages.com is still a thing. But those are generic citation sites, okay? Niche citations are more in our industry. So Zillow.com, Realtor, HomeLight, things like that, okay? And then you have geo citations, where they're actually local in your area. So SAR, or We Serve, is our associations in Arizona. Okay, those are a couple of our associations. So here you'd have like LVR, right, and those. 602area.com is a directory. azlocalbusiness.com is a local directory there. So those are more geo citations, local to your actual area. Okay, not saying that you need to go in and do all these, but a lot of us are already in the niche citations. We just want to make sure that those are updated and accurate. Okay. Reviews like a rock star. So reviews are critically important. So 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. Think about that. The majority of all real estate transactions come from repeat and referral business, right? So if 88% of consumers trust online reviews just like they would as an in-person recommendation, huge. So that's why I'm saying Google reviews are where you should be asking for those, for sure, okay? It's social proof that drives consumer action. They make you more visible. They make you look trustworthy. They expand the conversation about you, right? People, we get to learn more about someone through a review. Maybe there's additional details. Has anybody ever bought anything on Amazon? Do we all know what Amazon is? Yeah. So when we're looking at those reviews, right? If it's a 3-star, I don't know. We're gonna dive a little bit deeper in that. Or the reviews just give us more information about the product. And it's the same thing for services in that sense. Now, to take it a step further, don't be afraid that if you get a 4.8 star review, okay? Looks more human, right? If your average is 4.8, 5, all 5 is great too, but just know that if you're going to buy a product or something, it's 4.8, but there's 100 reviews, you're gonna trust it, right? If everything else matches up, you're gonna trust it. So don't knock yourself up if it's a 3-star review and they downed on you a little bit there, then you might want to correct that, but you want to make sure you respond to that as well. Okay? Because when consumers are now looking at a 3-star review, but they see a response from you and it's a good response, it makes sense, it connects the dots, it kind of washes it out in that sense. Okay. Sorry, I'm still admitting people here. They are essential to decision making, and keywords and reviews are critical. So we talked a little bit about that earlier. So if your client doesn't leave those keywords in there, you can always reply, respond to that, and make sure you drop those in there. Okay. Location, location, location. Has anybody left a review, Google review on someone's profile, whether it's a business or someone? No. Have you already asked for a review on a Google business profile if you currently have one? Zillow? Okay. So I'm going to show you guys an easy way where they've now created a short link for your business profile review specifically. That's easy just to text out. So we're going to take a look at that in the profile. Got to make it easy for them. So we talked a little bit about Google business profile posts. Okay. These are things like here you can see on this little screenshot. I'm going to show you a live one. But a lot of times when I'm talking with agents, it always comes up of, well, what do I post? What content do I post there? Okay, so you could talk about your new listings, your sold properties, blog style posts, market updates, of course. Does anybody get Altos market reports from Rock Title in here? Yes, everyone's yes, no? Okay, if you don't, Felicia will hook you up here. And if you're on the call and you're not getting them, reach out to your sales executive. They will definitely get you set up. Open houses, events you're hosting, maybe video and photos in your posts. Maybe it's a new listing. You want to talk about the kitchen or the backyard or the upgrades that are in it. Or maybe it's a post about how your clients, you educated them on upgrading this one thing or whatever it was, and they got X amount more for their home, right? Those are important things that you want to talk about. Now, the downfall for posts is you have to post frequently, okay? Because they're active for 7 days. It's not like a static post that's going to be there forever. Okay, you're going to see it on your end, but consumers won't see it on their end after 7 days. Okay, so the rule of practice, we're going to talk about it in the checklist today, is 2 to 3 times a week. You want to post that, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be new stuff. You can, yeah, if it's like evergreen content. Yes, yeah. But you want to make sure it's 2 to 3 times a week that you're posting on there. And if you're posting something on social media already, or you're doing a blog already for your website, take that and add it to your Google business profile. You don't have to create new content. You're already creating content. Just go and just repost it, repurpose it. Yeah, so Holly, I've seen this a lot recently, that the link wasn't working or the reviews not showing up. So as like recently, some agents were having issues. A lot of things like the Google business profile was so new, and like we go in and ask for 10 reviews right away. We want to space it out a little just so Google doesn't flag it, but there has been a few issues like that in the past. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to put it all together. We're going to jump in and actually, how do you create one? And we can take white letter. We're going to take a look at what that format looks like for posts. Okay, so I'm going to come out of here. Maybe there we go. It's interesting being live and doing this on Zoom because I'm moving this around. Move this here. Okay, so how do you even create a Google business profile if you haven't already? You're going to go to google.com/business. Okay, you're going to see something like this. Now, if you haven't created one yet, you're going to click manage now. Okay, you would think it would say sign up, but you're going to click manage now. If you already have one, you're just going to sign in with the Google account that you created it with. Okay, and that was some issues with some agents too.
Is there any fee?
Nope, Google business profiles are free.
I know they were saying something about my business.
Yeah, so maybe that's ads. A lot of times they want you to do Google pay-per-click ads or subscribe to like Gmail, like a professional email account to where it's like your name at yourwebsite.com, something like that. But Google business profiles are free, which is just another reason why we should definitely leverage this for sure. Google.com/business. Okay, again, if you already have one, you're just going to click sign in with the account, the Google account that you have. Does everybody have a Gmail? Yeah, almost everyone does now. So you probably already have one that you can sign in with. But if you don't, just manage now and you can create a Google business profile. When you click manage now, it's going to ask you for a business name. Now, I went in for today's training and just created explore Las Vegas real estate at gmail.com just for the example. So once you click manage now, this is for those that haven't signed up one, you're going to do the business name. Okay, so again, you want to make sure that you're using your name. A lot of times I use the broker's name in it just so I'm fully compliant. I think Las Vegas, you guys have to have your license number on everything. Arizona, we do not. So you might have to incorporate that in the name or just make sure that it's in your description so that's on the profile. Okay. So for this, I'm going to do Justin Taylor Realty One Group or ABC Broker. It doesn't matter which one. So ABC Broker. And we're going to do Las Vegas. Okay. Create business name. Continue. It's going to ask you a couple of questions. What are you? So you want to make sure you're doing service business. Okay. You don't really have a local store. I highly do not recommend putting an actual address on there. Check with your brokerage because a lot in your ICA do not allow you to attach your address, office address, to this Google business profile. ROG for sure does not. It's in the ICA that you cannot. Okay, and the reason is because it screws up the whole profile for them. Okay, so you want to do service business. And it's easy to change. I can show you how in the original. Business category. This is one of the optimization things. You want to make sure it's correct. So if I type in real estate, we can see agent, right? Agency. So you're probably going to choose agent. We can always add additional ones, which we will show you. So I'm going to click next. Where do you service? Okay. Since we're not going to do an address, we have to put service areas. This is critical. This is a huge optimization tool here. And the reason is because if you only put Las Vegas or only put Scottsdale, you're likely only going to show up in searches in that area. Okay. So you kind of want to expand it, leverage this. So maybe I'm doing Las Vegas and you guys will have to help me out here with this. Right. Henderson. I think you can do, I don't think you can do county. You can't do Clark County. North Las Vegas.
So like the city, like Summerlin.
Let's see. Yep. Does that pretty much cover Clark County? I got in there. North Las Vegas, Summerlin. What is it? Henderson? Did I put that? I got Henderson. Yep. So you guys just want to make sure that you go in any areas that you Anthem. We have an Anthem Arizona tool. So they're Anthem Henderson. Anthem Las Vegas. It only lets me do Anthem Henderson.
Or Sun City, I'm sorry, not Anthem.
Sun City. There's a Sun City in Arizona. Nevada's not coming up. Let me see. Sun City, Las Vegas, Nevada. There it is.
You need to delete the one that's on Anthem Las Vegas.
This one,
Anthem is comprised of.
Anthem Henderson.
Different products.
Yeah?
not just all
Oh,
of
okay.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So then you can go in and you want to make sure you include all the areas that you're going to service so that you can optimize that. So when anyone's searching in any of these areas, you pull up in that ranking. Okay, so you're going to do next. It's going to ask for phone number. Again, this is super important that you use the phone number that you use for real estate across all platforms. Okay, they need to match. Same with website. I don't have one for Vegas, but I'm just going to do explore Las Vegas realestate.com. Wonder if somebody has it. It says optional, but highly recommend. Does everybody have a website? Okay. No? Okay, step one. No, I'm kidding. All right, so put your business on the map. We are gonna, you can get alerts and tips about ways that you can manage your online profile if you wanted to. I'm gonna click continue. It's probably gonna now tell me that it has to be verified. Okay, please enter your mailing address. This isn't something that's gonna show in the profile. This is where they're gonna actually mail you that postcard. And it's just a verification, it's literally like a 4-digit verification code. They say 3 to 5 business days. I usually get it within a couple business days. So, but in order to make any edits or for you to actually show up on Google and to start ranking, you have to get that to be verified. Okay. So there is a little bit of waiting period there, but you're going to enter in the address there and click next. I'm not going to do one just for today. And then once you hit next, they're just going to tell you congratulations. You know, be on the lookout for that postcard and it will, you can verify that. Okay. When you get the postcard, it gives you the web address that you need to go to verify that. So it's easy to go in and then you can now make edits and everything to that profile. Okay. So I'm going to jump into our actual profile that we're going to be using today. It's in one of these tabs. Okay. So here's mine. So when you are signed in to your Google account that actually manages this profile and you Google yourself, now I'm in Vegas, so I had to add Arizona to it. So it would populate. Because if I just did this, notice how this works. Yeah. You can't, it's so, no. You don't necessarily have to have a Gmail account, but you have to have a Google account. I know it's not, it's so.
Yahoo account and that Google account.
You could forward it, but no. You have to, you can sign up for a Google account with your Yahoo account. Yes, you can do that. For your contact information, you can put your Yahoo. Yes, yeah. So then that's who the clients or prospects will reach out to. Yeah, you can definitely use your Yahoo. Yep, that'll be displayed. So notice that when I took Arizona out, because again, this is very much based on distance, that our Rock Title office here in Southwest showed up first, but Google knows that I'm logged in, and so it says that I manage this. So that's why I had to put Arizona, because then it will show up here on the right-hand side, okay? Check chat box. Yes, Violetta. So the Google Business Profile app that Google had no longer works, no longer exists. So you will make edits to your Google Business Profile if you want to do it on your phone via the map app, Google Maps. Okay, so you make all those edits via Google Maps going forward. Good call out. So over here, we can see that based on my profile on the right-hand side, it has my name, right, at Rock Title. This is the photo that I have show up here. Shows the areas that I service, has my website. They can save it. They can call directly. I have 22 reviews. This badge will not show up for consumers. It's just because I'm logged in. Okay, it'll show you. Has my hours. You can see I do not work 24/7. Do not recommend it. I'm also a licensed agent, so I feel the pain. Okay. Phone number there. You can always edit your stuff if you're logged in. Shows reviews down here. This is my part of my description. And then these are the posts. Okay, I posted this one today so you guys could see.
Can you transfer your Zillow reviews?
No, so he asked that earlier, and yeah. So there's no way to transfer because they're separate platforms. But what I was telling him is you can copy that review that that client left, text them that review with your Google Business review link, and say, "Hey, appreciate it if you'd leave me this review here. I'm trying to build up my Google Business profile. Would greatly help my business." Maybe you offer them like a $5 gift card or something, coffee or something like that. Copy and paste it. Copy their exact review that they left, so it's authentic, and just give them the link to be able to text it to them. Do not email. Text it to them. Okay, so you can see here these posts. If I click on it, we have a question. When I click on the post, you're going to see the graphic that I uploaded. Okay. This is the text that I put in there. Again, if you're maybe it's a new listing or something, can you add more text in there? The call to action was to sign up. When I click that, it goes straight to that Zoom registration for the class. So again, if you put a link in there, could go to your website, the listing, wherever it is. Okay. Let me just pull this up. Okay. This is a previous one that I posted back in April when I did a first class here. Okay, it doesn't show necessarily for consumers, right? It lasts for 7 days, but I can see it. But again, you can upload there. You can upload video. That's not just static images. You can upload video. So maybe you're giving a market update based on that Altos market report you're getting, right? You're talking about it or whatever it is. Maybe you're doing a walkthrough from an open house or something. Again, you're giving insight to those that are viewing your profile, your day-to-day, more about your personality, more how you work as an agent. I guarantee if you look at somebody's Google business profile right now that's an agent, they're not posting there, right? In a shifting market, when homes are selling just because homes are selling, life is great. But when it's in a shifting market, it's more normalized, we actually have to do some things that differentiate us from the rest. And this is a great way to be able to do that, okay?
Your way to Google and YouTube.
So you can, not necessarily a profile, but you can definitely take a YouTube video and upload it to here. So you can download that and upload it to your profile, or you can just take that link, the share link, and paste it in here as well. You can do that that way. Or you can link out to that video. Yes, YouTube. Yes. Yep.
So let me get this straight. Just have a little question. So you can basically post anything that you're doing as regards to real estate or your business, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes. So if I notice up here, when I click add update, is I can add that description. They give you 1,500 characters, which is quite a bit. Okay. You can add your photo or video. Okay. Select photos and video. Whatever you want to upload there. Let me go back in. Got it. Update. Notice the call to action, this button. So, right, maybe they can book a consultation with you. Learn more is a big one, or sign up, or just call now. Right, they can reach out to you. Okay, so it's very cool that they have those call to actions on there. They can include, but they give you 1,500 characters. Again, I'd be posting these. I have a checklist that we're going to go over in just a bit, but I would be posting to this 2 to 3 times a week. Remember, they last for 7 days. You can always add an offer up here if you wanted to, right? So maybe you're offering for your home to be cleaned or something as part of the listing with you. Anything like that, right? You can always add that in there. Again, you have to think of ways of how you can be different in this market. right? Stand out. Whatever your business model is, I would definitely add those in there. For what? Junk removal? Yeah, exactly.
So the added update only goes 7 days, and then you have to keep uploading 2 to 3 times a week.
I would do it 2 to 3 times a week. That'd be my recommendation, but it will go inactive after 7 days. Okay, I'll post.
So can you like keep reposting the same?
So that was a question here in the classroom. Yeah. So if it's evergreen content, obviously if it's like time sensitive or it was an open house or right stats, things like that, you don't really want to keep reposting that. But if it's part of the buying process, the selling process, or just educational type things, absolutely just keep reposting it for sure.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, okay.
Definitely. Good question. Okay, so this kind of what the profile looks like. It will give you some stats over here. So you can see this month so far, I've had 230 views. Or people have Googled probably me or something 230 times, and this is what came up. All right, so you'd click edit profile to actually get into your actual profile. So this is where you can go in and edit any of that information. I'm gonna go back here though, and we're gonna go in to here. Okay, so this is going to give you a little bit more information on how you can optimize your profile. So of course you have your about, right? Your business name. Do know any change that you guys make on here, it does go through a approval process. So it does have to get approved. So if you're changing your name that's completely different from what it currently is, it may get denied, right? If they can't source it from other places, right? Those citations, it doesn't connect. So here we have the business name. You can always go in and edit. Business category is important that you guys can always add additional ones on. So you can see here, I've gone back and forth from real estate agent to title company. So this one didn't get approved. So I'm gonna click OK. But if you wanted to add additional business category, you just click that edit there. And you can add additional categories here. So maybe in addition to this, you could do real estate. I think consultant is one of them. Yep, real estate consultant. Okay, you can add that in there. Is real estate investing one? Nope, not on there. But you can go through and add different categories in there that would actually match up to what your business model is. Okay, so I'm gonna click save. It's gonna tell me that those have to be approved, right? It's pending. Description. This is what's super critical, right? They give you the 750 characters. So you want to make sure that you are geo-targeting your local area. Remember I was talking about if you sell in Summerlin, Las Vegas, Henderson, all those, you want to name those in, right? So whether they're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in whatever cities, you want to make sure to add those in there, okay? It's important for the SEO. Opening dates, you don't need to worry about this. You can add in there. This is when I was actually licensed back in 2016. So you can always put that as your opening date. That's what I chose to do. Just shows a little bit more length of time. Your contact information, right? Your phone number, your website. This was not approved. Before I had explorearizonaliving.com on there. That was my website. It's no longer active. So they took it down automatically because it didn't link anymore. So again, you want to make sure it's accurate. Business location. If you currently have an address on there, which Angel, I think you said you did, you can come in here and toggle that off. Okay, you don't want to necessarily have a location, but you want to have service areas. So if you're in Arizona, you know these. The last training I added these in here. You can add more. It's pulling. Do we have a Bonnie Springs here? Sloan, Winchester, Summerlin South, Paradise, right? So these are all different things that Google's suggesting based on my location. Okay, so you can always add those in there as well. It can't hurt you. As long as it's locally here, somebody's looking at that area, right? We want to talk to them. Okay. Your hours, this is where, of course, you go in and update your hours. You want to make sure you go in and do that. Holiday hours, these are ones that automatically populated, right? Christmas and New Year's are already in there. a lot of times you will get a notification on your Google Maps. They just want to verify, hey, are you, if there's a holiday coming up, are you open on this day? What are your hours this day? Okay, so a lot of times like holidays or something, we look up to see if Starbucks open today, things like that. Okay, and it says hours may differ, right? This is what the data that they're pulling. Violetta asked if there's a limit on service areas. The last time I checked, there was not. Okay, but again, you just want to make sure it's areas that you're gonna service in there. You could add more hours if you wanted to, right? Happy hours, things like that, if you want to do that. And then there's other information here, like crowd and from businesses, doesn't really pertain to our industry, so we don't need to worry about that. Health and safety, of course, came around from the pandemic, so if you're practicing masks and things like that, there it is. You can always add that information in there as well. Okay, so that's where you can edit the business information. I'm gonna go back here. Now, in order to leave a review, I'm gonna go through this way. Google.com/business. Okay, this is where we were in the beginning. I'm gonna click sign in. Notice that it wants me to choose a business name because I have several different Gmail accounts. It's pulling from Rock Universities. So I'm gonna go to my actual one. And try to get to the correct page. Come on. Oops. Just delete it. Yeah. Just delete it. We don't need it. I love that it's not pulling this here. No, let me go back here with my 14 tabs. Persona. Pulling Rock University. It's always interesting. So the first time I did this, I was in Paris. I was teaching this remotely. So can you imagine? People loved me that time. Everything was in. Everything was in French. Yeah, exactly. I was like, it was great. We got through it. So let's go this way. Next. So I don't know why. Okay, so when you're on this page here and you're looking at your profile, I wanted to make sure you guys saw where it says get more reviews. Okay, when you click that button, they now give you a short link. Okay, this is the link that you're going to use to copy, right? I would text it to yourself so it's on your phone or email it to yourself. And this is the link that you're going to send to your clients. All right, you want to make sure that I would text it to them over email. Does everybody read their text messages they get? It's like a nearly 100% open rate, right? Email, not so much. It may go to spam, it may go somewhere else, we don't know, right? So text will garner you a lot better response. And you just text them for that review. You can always email it through here, you can request it through Facebook if you wanted to, but I would take this and save it somewhere on your phone or your computer so you always have it handy. Okay. The other thing that I want to show is, so that got approved. Let's see if I can go in the analytics. Here we go. So you can see in your analytics. So from March 2022 to August, right where we're at, 905 people have viewed my business profile, mainly because of location and things like that. Okay. So it tells you Google search desktop. Isn't that interesting? Most agents use a laptop or desktop, so that's probably why, right, instead of mobile. So we could see here 257 were mobile, actually from the maps in Google Maps here, right, mobile desktop. It is a lot. Yeah, makes it a lot bigger. So we can see here keywords and searches broken down. So most of these came from just searching the keyword rock title. So again, if you take a look at this and on a monthly basis, you can better optimize your profile based on keywords that are in there. So if you look at yours and the biggest keyword that shows up is real estate agent, you want to make sure that's in your profile name. Okay. Justin Taylor rock title got less than 15. You can see here it just goes down from there. Somebody, less than 50 people looked at Maricopa County Title Company. Somebody Googled Justin Taylor real estate, right? But mainly just the name there. So you want to make sure whatever keywords that you're looking at here shows up the most. Okay. Calls, 3 calls from that profile, no messages, right? Website clicks 24. So you can kind of go through and see your performance and things like that. Now in class, I gave you guys an optimization sheet and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you guys this link in the chat box. Okay, there's the checklist that we're taking a look at right now. And Wiletta, yes, let me show you. So when you're looking at your profile, okay, on Google, see this button here that says get more reviews. You're going to click that and it's going to populate this review link. Okay, you just copy that. It goes straight to your profile. So when I go in and I paste this, it's going to beautifully populate that review box immediately for them. So it's going to show you on the left-hand side. It's going to take a second. That review box pops up. They click stars, hopefully it's 5, right? And then they can leave the review there. If they wanted to add photos, they could. Again, it's always great to get a picture with your client. Maybe they'll upload that as well. You can have them upload it to that. Again, it gives more insight for those that are actually viewing your profile when you're coming up in those searches. Does that help, Wiletta? Perfect. So the reason why I would highly recommend using that link is because it makes it so easy for them, right? They click it, especially if it's on their phone, they get a text message, they click the link, pops it open right there. They click the stars, quick review if they leave one. They don't even have to leave text necessarily. I would recommend they do, right? For SEO reasons and to kind of help other people considering you. But it's not necessary. It's not required. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. We're just gonna take a look at this checklist. Okay, this is kind of the blueprint. So optimize your business name. Check the top 1 to 5 businesses in your area for reference to location and keywords. Include brand, your name as an agent, okay? You are the brand. And keyword, right? Location. You wanna make sure you include those in there. Optimize business descriptions. Again, you can review your competitors, take a quick search. You wanna use as much of those 750 words as you can. Mention your brand name at least once in that description. Mention your name. Reference how long you have been operating in your area, how long you've been licensed, right? Experience matters. Reference important streets and neighborhoods and any awards won. Okay, again, talking about geolocation and then any recognition. We talked about your Google business posts. So again, like I said earlier, you can repurpose blog content, right? 2 to 3 times a week you want to post. All your new listings you want to add. So anytime you have a new listing, you want to make sure you add those. You can include contact details in each post and include that call to action, learn more, link to your website, okay? Now, we didn't talk a whole lot about this, but geotagging photos and videos. So when you post photos and videos to your profile or through those posts, you can tag a location. Again, it's all about that distance and location with Google. Okay, so there's an opportunity for you to do that as well. You can encourage your customers to upload photos of them as well, especially in those reviews. Photos of your outside your office, things like that. I think Angel was talking about that here, doing tours. 360 tours, you can always do that as well. Choose the correct business category, right? Your primary category is probably going to be that real estate agent. And then your second categories. Okay. Just make sure they make sense. Right. Optimize products and services. So you can list all your property types you have for sale. Give each product or service a full description, right? So service could be listing agent, buyer's agent, consultant, investing consultant, things like that. I don't hear agents talk enough about investments. And I think that's such a missed opportunity, right? Especially, does anybody use HomeBot? It's a great, it's actually a lender tool, but it's a great seller lead gen tool. And it's gives you the opportunity for a property valuation for the clients that are in there. But they don't necessarily just talk about property valuation, they talk about equity and wealth building. And they really educate your clients in there on how they can take that equity and go buy an investment property, an Airbnb, what that looks like. It gives them an option to toggle things on and off. Have they done upgrades to their home? Things like that. Okay. HomeBot. HomeBot.ai. HomeBot. So it's a lender tool, so they're gonna have to reach out to the lender. Yeah, a lender. Did we? Yeah, double check with them. But if your lender doesn't have it, reach out to your sales executive. They definitely will be able to pair you with a lender that does offer it for sure. Build keyword rich reviews, which we talked about. Each review should include your location. Encourage your clients to take photos with you and your team and upload them to the Google My Business. Respond to every review publicly using the correct keywords. Again, if they didn't leave those keywords in there, you have the opportunity to reply and do that. And then just make sure you take time to respond to negative reviews. It's an opportunity to have additional dialogue and conversation on what happened. Okay. Any questions? I know it's a lot of information. Check the chat box. Cool. People in the chat are using HomeBot. Any questions with Google Business Profiles? Again, I would highly recommend that you make Google your #1 review platform that you're asking for reviews on. But be conscious. Don't go and ask for 10 in one day. You may get flagged. Spread them out. Also, you want to make sure that you're consistent. So maybe 1 week you get 2, and then you wait a week or 2 and you get another 2, things like that, right? Because if you go to a profile and all the reviews are from 6 months ago and there's no new reviews, right? Kind of people look at that. When's the last time you bought a product? Nobody bought the product for 2 years. They want newer reviews. Yes, I'll include a link to this checklist in the follow-up email, the recording. Any questions in general?
So it takes about 5 days for it to actually appear in the Google business pages.
Yeah, they say 3 to 5 business days
Okay.
before you get the postcard, because you got to get that verification code.
Okay. So once I get the verification code, I go into Google Business Profile and then verify it.
Yeah, you're going to go to google.com/business. It's going to give you the direct link, and then you just enter in that code. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, it'll give you the link on the postcard.
Sweet. Okay. I guess I'll be waiting for that postcard.
Yep. You gotta get that verification code. So somebody asked where you can get those insights. So when you're back on your page here, up at the top, you see here 230 views this month. You can always
Cool.
click that and then see the performance. Okay. So if you don't have a Google Business Profile yet, make sure you go in. You can use the checklist to make sure that you check all those boxes. And if you currently have one, make sure you go in, edit the information, optimize it, add some stuff to those posts, and then just kind of add that into your marketing plan. If you're posting on social media, you definitely want to take those and post it on there as well.
So
Okay.
once you set up your profile, I was trying to see if I can edit something. Does not let me edit nothing until I get the code I can edit.
Correct. You have to be verified before you can go in and change anything.
I see, okay. Yeah, when,
Yeah, so once you sign up for it and they said that they sent you the postcard, then
Yeah.
it's just wait for that to be able to do anything else. But as soon as you get that verification code and it gets approved, you're good. It's like it's definitely within 24 hours, but it's like within a few hours and you start showing up.
You automatically buy or get everything set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it'll take, usually they say like 24 hours before like you actually start showing up. So when you get the postcard and you put that code in, just make sure that you set up that time aside to do it like then that way, like within that 24 hours, when you start showing up, things are showing. But it's okay. It's nope, nope. And you know, if you don't get it 100%, that's okay. Because it's gonna take a little bit of time for you to actually get into the ranking anyway. So you got a little bit of time. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, guys? I'll edit this video tonight and have it to everyone tomorrow, and I'll send out the optimization sheet there with it. That way you guys have that. But any questions, please reach out to your sales executive. We are here to help you. Otherwise, we'll see you in escrow and at the next training. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah.